Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers could shop for a 2-for-1 trade special with the LA Rams. Don't you just love the NFL offseason? We couldn't even make it past the Super Bowl before trade rumors started swirling. On February 3rd, reigning Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Browns, while Rams former Pro Bowl wide receiver Cooper Kupp was informed that the Rams are looking to trade him. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers could get in on the action. We know Mike Tomlin and Art Rooney too. Though many fans have suggested it's time to tear this team down to the studs and rebuild, that's simply not the way the Steelers have ever operated. But that may not prevent them from giving it one last-ditch effort to open a Super Bowl window. The Steelers were centered around trade rumors involving Kupp before the 2024 deadline, but the Rams didn't want to move on from their starting receiver and nothing surfaced. Even now, trading for Kupp seems like a futile effort for a team that doesn't even know who their quarterback will be this season. But what if the Steelers found a way to make a blockbuster trade for Kupp that also included LA's starting quarterback? Steelers should offer trade package for Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp. As Cooper Kupp announced the team is looking to trade him this offseason, the subtle Matthew Stafford report is getting overlooked. Sports Illustrated insider Albert Breer believes Stafford's time with the Rams could be coming to an end, as the team looks to turn the next chapter on their franchise. This would seem to align with the general plan now that Kupp is on the trade block. The Rams have a young core on defense and an offense that is aging out. At 37 years old, Stafford doesn't offer the same appeal he once did, and it's safe to assume a 32-year-old Kupp isn't getting any better at this stage of his career. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers need both a quarterback and a starting wide receiver on their offense. A trade for both Stafford and Kupp could be the cherry on top that could finally breathe life into the offense and get the stagnant team over the hump. Admittedly, the ages of Stafford and Kupp raise a red flag. We've seen how quickly quarterbacks, like Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, fizzle out at this stage of their careers, while it's uncertain how much gas Kupp has left in the tank. But when you look at the makeup of the Steelers, age isn't an issue. The best players on the roster, T.J. Watt and Cameron Heyward, are in their 30s, and the time to act is now. Heyward turns 36 years old this offseason and could be playing in his final NFL season, while Watt will turn 31 years old early in the 2025 season. If the Steelers made a blockbuster trade for Stafford and Kupp, the window would align as the most important players on the team would likely have a 2-year window before they either retire or their performance takes a significant step back. Offering a trade package for both Stafford and Kupp wouldn't come cheap, and there is some finagling both front offices would have to do to get something done. The Rams would take a significant $45 million dead money hit if they decided to trade Stafford before June 1, though his $23 million base salary would be more than affordable for the Steelers. Kupp, meanwhile, has an enormous 2025 cap number of $29.78 million with a $7.5 million roster bonus coming his way this year, per over the cap. On his current contract, the Steelers would likely need some help from the Rams if Kupp was the only player acquired in the trade. However, trading for both players at once would make sense for both teams. The Steelers would be getting a discount contract with Stafford but would absorb an abnormally large cap hit with Kupp. These would essentially cancel each other out to make it a trade that is fair for both parties. In exchange for Stafford and Kupp, the Steelers would need to send the Rams a package of draft capital, though it's hard to tell exactly what that would entail. Either way, the Steelers need a quarterback and a receiver. Trading for both Stafford and Kupp would create a 2-year window for Pittsburgh that would give Heyward and Watt one final push for postseason success. At this point, what have they got to lose? NFL Awards 2025 finalists and predictions. The full list of candidates. The 14th annual NFL Honor Ceremony will commence on Thursday, February 6 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. A handful of players and coaches will be given the highest level of personal recognition in football, while others will leave empty-handed. The award finalists have been set since January 23. Finalists were determined through the Associated Press voting system, as voters were asked to rank their top 5 picks for MVP in order as well as their top 3 picks for every other NFL award. Just before millions gathered together to watch the Eagles and Chiefs battle it out in Super Bowl 59, we will witness how the league's greatest personal honors unfold. Here's a look at every NFL honors finalist and my predictions for each award this year. AP Most Valuable Player: Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills QB. Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles RB. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals QB. Jared Goff, Detroit Lions QB. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens QB. While some would like to sneak Saquon Barkley in the MVP conversation after a remarkable 2024 season, is a two-headed race between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. These were the two best quarterbacks in the league this season. Allen is still searching for his first league MVP award, while Jackson could make it 3 straight. Many believed Allen should have won MVP last year, but both players made convincing arguments in 2024. AP Defensive Player of the Year: Zach Bond, Philadelphia Eagles LB. Myles Garrett, Cleveland Browns DE. Trey Hendrickson, Cincinnati Bengals DE. Patrick Surtain II, Denver Broncos CB. TJ Watt, Pittsburgh Steelers LB. Unlike in years past, there wasn't a dominant edge defender season or clear frontrunner for the award. While Myles Garrett was strong enough on film to bring home Defensive Player of the Year honors for a second season in a row, the Browns' 3-14 record in 2024 should put an end to that quick conversation. Meanwhile, Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt was quiet down the stretch after being a DPOY frontrunner for most of the season. Bengals' Trey Hendrickson could win the award for the first time after leading the NFL with 17.5 sacks, while Eagles linebacker Zach Bond made an excellent case for the DPOY award. The lack of stellar outings could land DPOY honors in the hands of the league's best cornerback this year. Prediction: Patrick Surtain II. AP Offensive Player of the Year: Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles RB. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals QB. Ja'Marr Chase, Cincinnati Bengals WR. Derrick Henry, Baltimore Ravens RB. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens QB. The Offensive Player of the Year award has historically gone to a skill player, though you could argue whoever doesn't get the MVP award between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson should get OPOY. There were some fantastic individual performances this year. Ja'Marr Chase was the Triple Crown wide receiver, leading the league in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry effortlessly strung together a 1,921-yard season with an NFL-leading 16 rushing touchdowns. However, Saquon Barkley's 2,000-yard season with an unmatched 2,283 all-purpose yards should net him the OPOY award this year. Prediction: Saquon Barkley. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year: Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders TE. Jayden Daniels, Washington Commanders QB. Malik Nabers, New York Giants WR. Bo Nix, Denver Broncos QB. Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville Jaguars WR. Anytime a rookie tight end can record 100-plus catches and over 1,000 yards, you take notice. In most years, this would be enough to get the job done for Offensive Rookie of the Year honors if not for a phenomenal showing by rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. Daniels recorded over 3,500 passing yards in his first season with the Commanders to go with 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, while chipping in a whopping 891 rushing yards and 6 scores on the ground. Prediction: Jayden Daniels. AP Defensive Rookie of the Year: Cooper DeJean, Philadelphia Eagles CB. Braden Fisk, Los Angeles Rams DE. Quinyon Mitchell, Philadelphia Eagles CB. Chop Robinson, Miami Dolphins LB. Jared Verse, Los Angeles Rams LB. There were several strong Defensive Rookie of the Year candidates this season. Surprisingly, 2 Eagles cornerbacks and 2 Rams defensive linemen made the list. In a tight race, I have Brandon Fisk coming away with the award after recording 8.5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles in 8 starts, 17 games. Prediction: Braden Fisk. AP Comeback Player of the Year. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, QB. Sam Darnold, Minnesota Vikings, QB. J.K. Dobbins, Los Angeles Chargers, RB. Christian Gonzalez, New England Patriots, CB. Damar Hamlin, Buffalo Bills, S. When you glance over the names on this list, it's hard to have anyone but Sam Darnold as the comeback player of the year from the 2024 season. Darnold was on his 4th team, and the journeyman quarterback made just 1 start in 2023 before exploding for 4,319 yards and 35 touchdowns this past season. 49ers linked to blockbuster proposed trade with Steelers for TJ Watt. Bleacher Report tossed out some hypothetical trades they'd like to see, and the 49ers ended up being linked to a prolific pass rusher, TJ Watt. The NBA set the sports world alight in the wake of now Los Angeles Lakers superstar Luka Doncic heading off from the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Anthony Davis. Using that as motivation, Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox opted to propose some NFL offseason blockbusters that'd certainly shake things up across the league. One of Knox's suggestions involved an eyebrow-raising deal between the Pittsburgh Steelers and San Francisco 49ers. And, yes, it'd be a blockbuster. BR proposes 49ers trade Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason and draft picks to Steelers for TJ Watt. Knox proposed a deal between the Niners and Steelers that'd send wide receiver Deebo Samuel, running back Jordan Mason and 2 second-round NFL draft picks to Pittsburgh in exchange for a 4-time first-team All-Pro pass rusher, TJ Watt, who was entering a contract year. To map it out, here's the proposal. Here's how Knox described the nature of the deal. If the Steelers can't sort out a new contract, they could expect a massive return for the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year candidate. In this scenario, they could flip him for some much-needed offensive help and valuable draft capital. Pittsburgh needs offensive help after tanking just 23rd in yards last season. It first needs to settle its quarterback situation. There's a good chance that either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields will be back, but improving the supporting cast is on the to-do list. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel may be viewed as expendable. San Francisco extended Brandon Ayuk last offseason, used a first-round pick on Ricky Pearsall and saw Jauan Jennings emerge as a high-volume target. The Steelers need a dependable receiver opposite George Pickens in their lineup. On the surface, it would seem like a great move from San Francisco's perspective. Despite General Manager John Lynch saying the 49ers have no interest in trading Samuel this offseason in light of numerous rumors, the Niners could afford to clear up their wide receiver room, making way for 2024 rookie wideout Ricky Pearsall to have a more prominent role on offense. Mason, who shined over the first half of 2024 before injuries took their toll, is also at an all-time high, market-wise. With All-Pro running back Christian McCaffrey returning from a banged-up campaign last year, plus rookie Isaac Guerendo's emergence, Mason seems a bit surplus. So, why not sell high? Draft picks are draft picks. In return, San Francisco finally getting a potent bookend on the defensive line to pair with All-Pro Nick Bosa would fully solve its pass-rushing issues made evident last season. To be frank, what might be the premier player, whereas Bosa is the complement. Either way, the 49ers would relish the chance to boast such a lethal D-line. But, would it happen? Plenty of problems exist with proposed 49ers trade for TJ Watt. For starters, Watt is 30 years old. The Niners already boast an aging team of veterans and lack key contributors, especially within the front seven, who are playing on affordable rookie contracts. Plus, Watts camp would likely seek a trade partner that'd be willing to offer him an extension upon completion of the deal, and that's the primary obstacle San Francisco would encounter in such a move, not unlike the dream big but probably not possibility of trading for Cleveland Browns star edge rusher Myles Garrett. In short, the 49ers could afford either Watt or Garrett in 2025, but things get complex in 2026 and beyond. Especially when factoring in quarterback Brock Purdy's looming contract extension. Teams rarely boast two of the league's highest-paid pass rushers at the same time, and the Niners already committed big money to Bosa, making the feasibility of adding Watt much more difficult, financially. While Knox's proposal is theoretically doable, it's just not likely or affordable. But it'd be fun to watch the net result, if it happened to play out in such a way. And are you a fan? What do you think of TJ Watt's exit? Leave your opinion in the comments.